someone, you never really forget them.
Who could have polluted the entire Earth?
September 21st, 1945. That was the night I died.
Anger of the old reflects the anger of the earth. The earth knows it's wrong for us to survive.
Concrete roads everywhere I go. But I had no idea my crystal was so incredibly powerful.
There's another curse. Make all your bacon burn.
Totoro? Is that what your name is?
It's time for Argo City Podcast to jump into the world of Studio Ghibli.
The cat came back 'cause he didn't want to roam. The very next day, the cat came home. So, that's the only thing that comes to mind when we're talking about tonight's movie. Literally, I saw the title, and that song is the first thing that I'm thinking of.
Yeah, the title of the movie we watched tonight was The Cat Returns, which is a sequel, not sequel, to a movie we watched a little bit ago called The Whisper of the Heart.
I mean, is it a sequel or is it a sidequel? I think that might be a better way of putting it. Because I feel like this... I don't feel like this is something direct. I don't know that it's necessarily in the same continuity. I feel like this could be part of the mythology of the figure.
It's considered a spin-off sequel. That's what Google says.
I don't necessarily agree with Google. I feel like this is more of a sidequel. This is it creating... I feel like this would be the folktale that surrounds... Let's talk about this real quick because... So, we watched Whisper of the Heart. And one of the things we saw in Whisper of the Heart, this weird cat figurine inside an antique store.
Yeah, he was called the Baron, and the whole thing kind of revolved around the Baron inspiring the girl's story. Right,
so this is one of the stories of the Baron, which makes me feel like I wonder if this is one of the folk tales of that surrounds that figurine, of that character. Just like, if you look at the Doctor Who figures in my library, well, those are inspired by TV shows. They're inspired by stories themselves. They're not necessarily a part of my story.
Yeah, exactly.
So I feel like this is a sidequel, like it's fiction in universe, unless maybe it's something that happened before then. But yeah. I don't know. It's just, it's weird.
This seems like the kind of self-insert you would see a girl write about herself. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if this was one of the tales in that girl's story.
Yeah.
Literally self-inserting herself into the story.
So, let's talk about the story itself. What is our description? What is our story this week?
Oh, there's a lot to this. So, we have our female protagonist. I can never remember names, I swear. Haru, yes. So Haru, she is a pretty average girl. She's going to school. On her way home from school, she saves a cat from getting hit by a truck.
With a lacrosse stick.
The scoop. She just scoops him and then runs. And it's adorable.
It's adorable and horrifying at the same time. Well, it gets horrifying later on.
So the cat thanks her and says that he'll make sure that she gets her thanks later.
Okay. Let's stop for a second. The cat thanks her.
The cat talks.
The cat stands up on hind legs.
We will talk about this later.
Thanks her. Yeah, because there's a lot more to that. This is going to turn into a bizarre feline fantasy.
So, as the story goes on, these cats, a cat visits her later that day with no. There's so much in this, it's hard to figure out where it's what.
A parade of cats, including the king, including the emperor, visits her later in the day.
In the full-on, what song was I singing? The Come Little Children, and they stop and they say that she happened to save the prince. So the king wants to give her gifts as a thank you. And over the next little bit, we see her getting a ton of lacrosse sticks. Her entire yard gets infested with cattails. And cats start to follow her around, chasing her even.
Now, but this actually tracks, though, because, we have cats.
We do have cats.
Cats do bring you gifts. And they're frequently things that you don't really want.
She gets a locker filled with mice.
Which, again, this tracks because Sparky will if Sparky would ever, like, stop playing with the mice that he catches and just kill them and eat the parts that he wants, he would then present them to... We had a cat outside. Do you remember this? So, and I don't think it was Bugs, but there was another cat outside hanging out.
We had a lot of cats. We have a lot of cats in our neighborhood.
Yes, but this one, Sparky would yell back and forth with it. And then one day, it started bringing us dead mice. It would deposit them on the porch in front of the door. And we're just looking at this like, whoa, that's some shots fired. Is
that like that cat just saying, okay, this cat clearly isn't taking good care of you guys. I'll take good care of you guys. Let me in.
So the cat's bringing her gifts is perfectly in character, but of course it's also exponentially increased to, this is this is next level.
So then, shortly after, we get this letter, which is hilarious because the letter of the gifts is like Egyptian-esque pictures, which is so funny. But the king says that, you're going to be my daughter-in-law. You're going to marry the prince. She's looking at him like, what?
Well, she does complain to the king's envoy that I don't like mice. I'm allergic to these cattails and catnip. Don't you know anything? Well, no, he doesn't. He's a cat.
He is a cat, and he's so stubborn. When she accidentally yells at him, he stands on with his back against the fence with his arms crossed like a stubborn little guy, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, that tracks.
Yes, this is one of the fun things about this, by the way, that they really
they lean into
this isn't just a cartoon. They're really trying to play into cat tropes and just cat behavior in general.
Such a good job.
There's so much of this. So anyhow, now she's stuck and she needs somebody to get her out of this hot water she's in. So
she hears a disembodied voice in her head. Go to the crossroads, find the white cat, and he'll help you.
He'll lead you to the cat bureau.
Yes. So we go there, we find this cat that she immediately calls fat, which, you know what? Sure. She calls him fat a couple of times before going to walk away, and the cat's like, you know what, fine, I'll show you. And then he runs off, and then we have this whole chase scene, like Subway Surfer style on the rooftops, as we are trying to run after this freaking cat on top of these rooftops. And they lead us to this bureau, which is essentially this, like, small...
It's cat scaled.
Yeah, it's tiny. It's a tiny little neighborhood. It's so cute.
And it almost feels like the buildings separate and you're in Diagon Alley. It's got that sense of otherworldliness to it.
Yeah. So we are shortly after introduced to the Baron after his house lights up, and they play around with the shadows as the Baron is being dramatic with the lights and stuff, which especially for me very much reminded me of Studio Ghibli, of Spirited Away.
Okay.
Like with the playing with the shadows at the very beginning. That was so cool.
Well, and the Baron is really where it's like, because even as we start this movie and the shape of the cats and the gait and the way they move and it all, I'm feeling like, man, this could almost be some kind of interesting sequel to Whisper of the Heart. And then it's the Baron. I jump on my phone, pull up the poster. I'm like, and then they refer to him as the Baron. And I'm like, This is the cat from Whisper of the Heart.
Yeah, I said that when we were in this little scene. Because I was surprised that you hadn't noticed it. But then again, we didn't stay on the title page too long.
It's not that I didn't know it. I just didn't realize it, that this is that sidequel, that this is just that spinoff. It's something, it's part of it. Mm-hmm. So it's just kind of like, I take it as coincidence. Because there's always coincidence in Studio Ghibli. There's always in jokes. You notice that, like Haru's
in the very beginning, Haru's blanket is the patterning of Howl's cape, which is so cool with the coloring.
So I'm figuring it's just that kind of thing. No, this is more than that. And the Baron, very eloquent and very British.
His first, immediate way to describe him. He's very gentlemanly. We very much like him.
Very much trying to get her out of this mess that she's in. Not so much because 5 minutes later she's sucked into the cat world.
Yes, and on a stampede of cats as well, which, okay, you know what? Sure, they make fun of the cat again, saying that, I guess I have to be more specific with cat. Well, they make
envoy.
They make fun of
our fat
cat. They make fun of our fat cat because he's too heavy for the weight limit and gets left behind, and that's funny.
But that's okay because it means that she gets knocked off mid-transit, and we get to see more of Cat World. And Cat World, I don't know, for me, we see this lush green landscape filled with small little huts that are almost built into the ground. It feels like Lord of the Rings. These feel like hobbit holes to me.
Oh, that's cool.
And then, out of nowhere, this white lady cat comes up. Yes. You should go. You're in danger, which Fatso agrees with. Lady cat. And I look at her and the big pink ribbon around her neck. And I'm like, I looked over you. Did my parents ever show you the Aristocats?
Yes, I have seen the Aristocats. I don't know if it was necessarily them, but I have seen the Aristocats.
No, but the design, it feels like that. She's not quite as plump, but the design, the sleek whiteness, and that big oversized pink ribbon, it's screaming that to me.
Yeah, and this girl, she's telling them to leave, and they don't leave, and then she gets kidnapped to the castle, where she's...
So, yeah, things pretty much unfold as you expect for Haru. She's slowly turning into a cat. But,
she's being dressed up for her wedding day, is slowly turned into a cat.
To be fair, as you get older, you turn more and more into a cat. I'm perfectly content to just sit here and sleep and eat, and if I could nap as much as the cats, I'd be much happier.
Oh, I absolutely agree. As I was saying, we all think about this. And it's funny that they tie in the whole theme of, you have to believe in yourself, and that's the only way she can, break the curse of the cats and such, which is kind of weird. But anyways, let's see. What did happen after that? We got into our wedding dress. We were brought into this, banquet where they're trying to feed her fish, and she's not happy. We see a lot of different types of cats here as well. We see some Egyptian, some Siamese cats. It was actually really cool that they included that.
Well, and it also turns out that actually the prince is not into this. The prince already has a girl in mind, and it's our white cat.
Exactly.
It's our white cat named Yuki, and turns out that
the cat that she also saved when she was a kid.
She was feeding her food when she was a kitten, when we see these flashbacks of young Haru. So it's almost like we're going full circle here, where she saves basically the prince at the beginning, and then we're going back to see how she saved the princess.
Yeah, and
earlier.
I was really thinking that the white cat, because the Baron, he in a whisker of a heart, or a heart of a whisker of a heart, I think it was. The Baron, he does have a wife. He does have a bride, a matching statue.
Yeah.
So I was really, because the thing is, I couldn't remember what the matching statue looked like. So I was wondering if that was going to be her, and that was going to be the big reveal at the end. But no.
No, and actually, you know what? That occurred to me too, because
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
I was genuinely disappointed that we don't see his mate
or even
anywhere in here,
or
that he doesn't find her in some way here, because it seems like that would be important. That would be a thing.
It even makes me wonder, what if the Baron's wife had been the voice in her head? maybe she has experience in there and we could see a little flashback, and this gives the Baron a clue to help find her. Because we don't exactly know if, I mean, in this particular fantasy universe, we don't know if the Baron's wife, we don't know if she's also a statue, if she's a regular cat, or if she's none of the above.
No, we really don't. And, I mean, to this point, watching this adventure with the Baron, with his fatso sidekick, with his obnoxious bird Toto. But it's like, I come out of this after watching them rescue Haru and getting her back to her world and getting her back to her life. But I watch this and I'm like, man, I want more.
Yeah,
I would love more adventures with these characters.
Can we please give me a series, or give me a series of books?
That's the
give
thing.
me a series of books.
I don't necessarily want a series. I don't want it diluted by being like a 22 episode TV series or even a 15 episode one. But I would like a few more movies. I would like a trilogy.
Yeah.
I would like half a dozen of these spread across years, because I'd love to come and spend more time with this kind of adventure trio in this almost sort of Lost Child Studio Ghibli context.
Because it's like...
I'd like to see Haru call back on him. He says, you ever need us, you know where to call. I'd like to see her call back. But I'd like it to be just one or two more films.
And the heck, if we were going to like play on the idea of him trying to find his wife, you could sprinkle in hints until they find her in the finale.
I mean, really, that could be a subplot, or that could be a quest of its own. There's so much that could be done here, but because it's Studio Ghibli and because they don't generally do real sequels, and a lot of the stuff that they do, I don't necessarily want a sequel to. I don't want a proper sequel to Whisper of the Heart. I don't want a sequel to Spirited Away, because it's perfect as it is. I don't want a sequel to Grave of the Fireflies. I really don't want a sequel to Grave of the Fireflies.
Don't torture us with another one.
And so because they don't do that, and it's to their credit most of the time, I don't see it here either. I don't see it happening here. Yeah. But this is like the 1 in a million time when I would love to see this picked up and just explored just a little bit further.
No, this movie is incredible with the amount of like silliness, with the amount of cat puns and everything like that. I adore it.
And not only that, with the talent. So, can I talk about the cast a little bit? Because I watch cast.
You
I
go
watch
on your
names.
ramble. You go on your ramble.
No, but I mean, look at who is in this. So, Haru is Anne Hathaway. Haru is Anne. I love Anne Hathaway. I wish she would eat a sandwich once in a while, because the older she gets, the thinner she gets, and she doesn't look healthy. But back in her Princess Diary days, she was perfect. I love her. I love her in The Devil Wears Prada. I love her wherever I see her. Fun fact: 10 years after this, she's Catwoman.
Of course
she's Catwoman in The Dark Knight Rises.
That's why I heard you talking about Batman.
Now, I hate Nolan's trilogy. I absolutely despise it. But I think it's so funny because, well, no, you're pretty much Catwoman right now. You're surrounded by cats.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong.
The Baron himself is played by Cary Elwes. So this is Wesley from the Princess Diaries. I just want to hear the Baron say, "As you wish." It's so perfect. Actually, it's not even so much the Princess Diaries. It almost feels more like Cary Elwes doing Robin Hood Men in Tights. Men
in Tights.
We watched Prince of Thieves, so this is Mel Brooks's parody of that. To the point where at one point Cary Elwes literally says, "Unlike other Robin Hoods, I can speak with a British accent."
Excuse you? I don't think a lot of other Robin Hood adaptations would be very happy about that. Can we talk? Wait, did you have other people you wanted to talk about?
Yes, I did, because our envoy, that's Andy Richter. We just watched. Now, I know him from Conan O'Brien's show, but you know him very recently. We watched Lego Master Kids, and Andy was teamed up with. He
was the wonderful comedian that got teamed with the team that I hated.
I still wanted
those children.
I wanted that team to win, just because of him.
Exactly. I would have been happy if he won, just not the team. Throw the children in the trash.
White Cat Yuki. That's Judy Greer. Judy Greer is the mom in Ant-Man.
Oh, okay.
Serious. I've seen her in a lot of other stuff, and I also occasionally mistake her for a very similar actress who was in an old Fox show called Flying Blind. Like 3 people, just their ears perked up, and the rest of you don't know what I'm talking about. Elliot Gould. Oh my gosh, I don't know why he's cast as the bird, as the crow, because this man is somebody. This man did the original film version of MASH. I mean, he did comedy all through the 70s, and I mean, even in the 2000s, like Mom and I enjoy him from like the Ocean's 11 stuff. He's the only person from this movie that I have an autograph from, because he was nice enough to send it to me through the mail.
And we need to add his picture onto your list.
The Cat King is Tim Curry. The Cat King is actually Tim Curry. All right, so Tim Curry's done a lot more voice work than people realize. But still, it's just... there's this meme going around. Like, you can judge the quality of a man by the movie he knows Tim Curry from. And most people will, like, point out, okay, so it's the difference between whether you know him from It or Rocky Horror or from Clue. I, of course, will always bring up Muppet Treasure Island.
Of course
which
you
is
will.
one of his favorite roles ever.
Really?
It seriously is. But you know what? I kind of want to keep this one in my back pocket now, because wow, Please
use this at some point and tell me how it goes.
I mean, I was not expecting that. But I mean, even like other supporting characters like Peter Boyle. Peter Boyle, most people know him from Everyone Loves Raymond, but he's been the old man in like everything. And Renee Auberjonois, Odo from Deep Space Nine, as just the the announcer, who it's just
the second hand to the king.
Yeah. This cast is just amazing. And again, this is 2004, I think.
I don't know off the top of my head.
2002. So these people were something, but man, this cast just grew and grew and grew in notoriety.
Yeah.
It is amazing to listen. They'll talk about celebrity stunt casting and stuff like Hotel Transylvania, or Shrek Goes to Hawaii, or whatever the next one is.
I was like, that's not a Shrek movie, I know.
But this just outdoes everything.
Yeah. And so now that you've had your chance to ramble, it's my chance to complain.
Okay.
Okay. I don't typically have a lot of issues with these movies, but these cats got on my nerves. Now, we get this weird thing with their cats and these anatomy. They will go from on their four legs, up to their hind legs, and they'll do it in such a weird way. No, let me finish.
It's kind of walking like a person.
They literally stand up, and it's so, the way that they animate it is so gross. And then we'll get random scenes where they'll be like, standing, they'll go into their legs, and then they'll like hop down to sit like a cat. And I don't like it because it looks gross to me, and it bothered me the entire time.
It really is kind of freaky.
Yeah.
I mean, like when we get the parade of cats.
Oh, it was terrible.
It feels almost Pet Cemetery to me.
Oh, goodness.
Especially the remake. And at some point, we need to do the remake, because you've seen the original. That rescue, by the way, the rescue from the truck is very Pet Cemetery, too.
Oh.
But yeah, it just feels that kind of freaky to me. And I was thinking about it when you pointed it out. And I think the reason that it's so off-putting is because they're not cartoony cats. We're watching a cartoon, but they're drawn anatomically as normal cats. This is not like Sylvester and Tweety. This is not Garfield walking around anthropomorphic. It's they're cats doing things
that cats do.
And that cats shouldn't necessarily do. That physics doesn't necessarily allow them to walk like that.
Yeah.
And I think that it's that realism that really got to you.
And it's like, when it's the parent, it's fine, because he's wearing clothes. When the characters are wearing clothes, it doesn't bother me as much. But when we're just, like, when we're in the palace, we see, like the consort-esque girls covered in, like, draped in silks, like the clear silks. Beautiful art, by the way, but we see a lot more of their anatomy with them. It's one of the reasons why I avoided watching them throughout this, because, like I said, it bothers me. But we get to see a lot more of that with them in particular, with how they move and such, like, while they're, like, pleasing the king, yada, yada, yada. And it's like, I don't...
It's just wrong.
It's wrong. Yeah, I don't like it.
And, I mean, that's how far down the rabbit hole we are. And, by the way, speaking of the rabbit hole...
This is so Alice in Wonderland coded.
It really is.
Everything from big girl sitting in a tiny house with a tiny cup of tea, to the way that the buildings look, to the way that the holes work, falling through the hole and ending up in another world.
Well, even to get to that other world, she's got to follow the white rabbit. No,
the white cat. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I mean, it's subtle, and at the same time, it's not subtle. But yeah, it feels constant. Even her wedding gown is reminiscent of Queen of Hearts.
Yeah,
it's got that collar to it.
Yeah, she's got that like heart thing on the back of her dress.
It's design language that I feel like is there to evoke that sort of off-balance feeling.
And
that
like
sort
of trappedness. Like, you're trapped, you can't get out.
There's so much here, though, that feels like it's homage. Yeah. Like they're pulling from different sources. And it's not badly done. I think of all the Studio Ghibli movies that we've been going through in this run here, this might be my favorite.
Really?
It's just the most fantastic. It's the most out there. And it doesn't hurt that it's actually like a shorter runtime as well.
Yeah, it's like an hour and 15 minutes.
But at the same time, it's very smart. It's not that it's short. It stays as long as it needs to stay.
Yeah,
and they still managed to pack all those moments in.
It doesn't feel rushed, but it doesn't feel like they had to cut it off. And that's
it doesn't feel short. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something to say here. And we were pausing occasionally to discuss things, but even then, like, for this being one of my shorter movies, like, this was amazing.
No, and there's all sorts of little touches here that are very Studio Ghibli, or that are just they're noticeable. Like, when she walks into, like, her mom quilting. You know what? You literally just walked into me doing this exact same thing. I had taken over the entire kitchen because I had to create 6 different art pieces for mom for school to do something. So you're walking in, and I'm just there in sweats and a beanie and a paintbrush going over 6 different canvases next to each other.
Yeah.
And that's what that felt like when she walks into mom quilting, and it's just like, I can't stop. Just go order food or whatever and stuff like that.
No, I get that. At one point, when we are following the cat, we pass by a guy that has a twisting musical thing.
Yeah.
And as we
organ grinder.
Yeah, as we move away, it gets quieter, which is so clever because it's not just background music. We can see it, like, actively in it. And as we move away with the cat, it just gets quieter until it eventually stops when we reach the other world. And that was such a cool detail.
Even the details about her getting whisked away on the magic carpet of cats.
Like the stampede. What is happening?
And it's over the roofs of buildings and through the village, and nobody notices. Like you pointed out, that's interesting. The magic doesn't disappear like when people are around. It's still there. They just don't notice. It's kind of this natural perception filter that we as human beings have. Like, I don't think I want to see that, so my eyes are going to slide over there.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to see it. And also, what do I always say? Nobody ever looks up.
Oh my god.
So they miss it all. You have all of these little moments packed into this film.
They're clever. They're funny. The jokes and the writing are wonderful.
No, and that's why I'm saying, like, this may be my favorite of all the ones that you've shown me. It's genuinely solid, good entertainment, and it's not. I'm not spending forever on it. I'm not bogged down with the heaviness of it, because Miyazaki can get heavy. He doesn't want that right now. This one, he wants to do something.
Fun.
Let's just have a fun time. Let's just have a fun ride
with cats. And cats are wonderful.
So many cats.
I wonder if somebody went through and counted how many cats are in this. I want to look that up. Hold on.
You know what? See, while you're looking at that, to me, I'm looking at this like, what kind of influence does this have on people? Like, so if you, just about every Gen Xer saw Star Wars. I don't care who you are. Every Gen Xer saw Star Wars. And so, I guarantee you that at some point or another, every Gen Xer has tried to use the Force. To, like, maybe move that remote control from the coffee table over to the couch because I can't quite reach it. And I wonder about the influence that this might have. Where it's like, okay, anybody who's watched this, have you ever tried to walk up to a cat and say, can you direct me over to the cat bureau? I'm just waiting for them. I feel like there's a generation of people who watch this, of fans who watch this, who are waiting for the cats to talk back.
It's like, I can't find a number, but I did find a random picture of all the cats with the cat from Totoro and also the cat from Kiki. It's like all of them just sitting together, and it's wonderful. But I need to find a number.
I'm going to let you sit there and count all the cats. No! And by the time we make it back next week, we may have a number for you. No! So don't hold me to that. No! But we're going to try. So
how am I going to find that online?
That's it for the Cat Returns this week. And we will see you next weekend with a count on how many cats appear in this movie.
We'll see you guys next week.